snow was deep, the wind was high, no star was shining in the sky. The Rev. Peter Spall walked fast through dark and frost and icy blast. He held his cross, he held his book with solemn face and fearful look. A panicked message came that night: "Come quick, Father, bring the light." He reached the house upon the hill where all was shadow, cold and still. The mother opened up the door and wept upon the wooden floor. Upstairs she whispered, pale as bone, "Our little boy is not alone." The priest went up the creaking stair and felt a heavy frozen air. He stepped inside the small boy's room, wrapped tightly in a suffocating gloom. The child lay quiet on his bed with sunken eyes and heavy head. Young Timmy, barely 9 years old, lay shivering in the creeping cold. "Good evening, child," the pastor said, and sat beside the iron bed. Then Timmy's eyes turned pitch black night without a single fleck of white. He opened wide his little jaw and screamed a sound of terror raw. A low and guttural rasping growl, a beast's horrific unnatural howl. "He is not here," the creature cried, "the little boy you knew has died." The temperature began to drop, the wall clock made a ticking stop. The priest unclasped his heavy book, though every leaf and shadow shook. "In sacred name I bid you go." His voice was firm, his breath like snow. He splashed the holy water around, it hissed upon the carpeted ground. All that began to float and rise before the pastor's terrified eyes. The boy bent backward, spine snapped tight, a monstrous and unnatural sight. He spoke in tongues of dead, forgotten land, and pointed with a withered hand. "Your faith is weak, your God is far. We know what evil things you are." The priest felt terror seize his chest, a heavy weight upon his breast. The shadows stretched across the wall and grew so wide and black and tall. They reached out clawed and smoky hands from fiery deep, tormented lands. The windows rattled, glass did crack, the darkness pressed against his back. "I force you out," priest Peter yelled, as high his silver cross he held. "By all that's holy, leave this place, show this poor child your ugly face." The boy shrieked loud, a terrible sound, and slammed down hard upon the ground. He thrashed and writhed in agonizing pain like lightning in a hurricane. A terrible smell of sulfur spread, a foul stench rising from the bed. The air grew thick, too dense to breathe, as dark smoke started to unwreath. It poured from out the young boy's mouth and blew away toward the south. A final bone-chilling, furious scream. Then silence fell like a waking dream. The boy lay still, his eyes closed tight, returning to the pale moonlight. His breathing came now soft and slow, no longer black, no longer low. The evil mark had left the room and dispersed into the midnight gloom. Priest Peter sank onto his knees and prayed amidst the icy breeze. screams. He wiped the cold sweat from his brow. The house was safe and quiet now. He left